What's up, y'all? It's Daryl D here. Hey, man, I went to the Erykah Badu concert last night, and I just kind of wanted to give a review of my experience there. Now, for the record, I am a huge Erykah Badu fan, and you could kind of tell from the backdrop, that I like records. And I have every Erykah Badu record, 12-inch single, everything she ever released on vinyl is in this collection. So I'm a huge fan, and I have been since day one. Um, but I want to talk about the concert last night. Um, I think I should have gotten a little bit more bang for my buck last night, and that's sort of like the bottom line. So let me first of all say the bottom line is that it was a fabulous show. It was a great show. If you've never seen Erykah Badu perform and you would have went to that show, you would have been very impressed. It was a great show. It was a huge production. She performed in the biggest venue I've ever seen her in. Um, the show I'm talking about took place here in Phoenix, Glendale to be more precise, and it was at the Glendale Arena. And I'm not sure how many seats it holds, but I'm thinking somewhere between 12 and 15,000. You'd have to look that up, but I think I would be pretty close to that number. And let me tell you, she packed that place. It wasn't sold out, but she definitely packed that place all the way to the back of that venue. It was wow. It was the first time that I was so far away from her, from the stage, because my seats were on the side of the venue, about midway up, I would say. So it was a big venue for her to be playing. I'm really impressed and happy that she was able, she's gotten to the point where she's playing these huge buildings now. Um, let's start off with the opener, Mr. Yasiin Bey, aka Most Def. I still can't get used to calling him Yasiin Bey. So anyway, Most Def was the opener, and I am a huge Most Def fan. I can pull out every single one of his albums. Uh, 12 inches, the Reflection Eternal stuff. I'm a huge Yasiin Bey fan. Trust me. Um, but I think last night, I think he could have came a lot stronger than he did. First of all, I believe that Yasiin Bey is a huge artist, and he has a huge fan base, and his catalog is incredible. It's incredible. If you are a Yasiin Bey fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Um, but he didn't present himself as this huge superstar. Um, when he came out, he just kind of came out like, "Hey, here I am. Hello, everybody." And I was like, "No, man, you bigger than that. You're a bigger star. You're a bigger name. You're a bigger draw than just kind of just walking out on the stage and hey, you're here." Um, he had a DJ with him who just pretty much played the music. That's all his DJ served as, and they were on the stage, and the Erykah Badu's band, all of their stuff was already up there, and it was just covered up, right? So it literally was like, you're the opening act. Here, just let me throw you out there on the stage. Here, do your little thing and go away. That's exactly how that show was. No type of stage production at all. There was a big screen that had some visual on it. It had like a little scribbly thing. I don't know if that was supposed to be his name or not. And then behind that, the name was like this dark visuals of, I think, like people walking around or sitting around. Super super boring. It was boring. I couldn't believe. I was like, that's it. That's it. That's all you're gonna show for the whole night. Come on, man. Come on. We need more than that. Um, he did a lot of singing. He did stuff from the. He did some songs from the. What was that, the True Magic album, and then I forgot the name of the album that came out after that. And that stuff was cool. I love that stuff, but I was like, come on, where's all that boom bap from the '90s that we love? Like, where is that? And I think about halfway through his show, he finally started doing some of those songs, and the show didn't. I mean, the fans were very very receptive. They were very accommodating to him. I don't know how many, Yasiin Bey fans were there opposed to Badu fans. But I think if there was an opportunity for him to gain fans that he didn't already have, I think that would have been the opportunity to do so. And I just don't think he took as much, or he took advantage of that as much as he should have, or at least as much as I would have. Um, it was just like the performance that he gave was more like a performance at a little small venue or a club somewhere. It wasn't like a performance like, I'm on this big stage, in this big building with thousands and thousands of people. Let me come out and, he should have walked out on that stage or came out like he was Elvis or Luther or Ice T back in the day or something. I mean, he should have. It just should have been more of a big deal, opposed to him just coming out there doing some songs. And I just thought it could have been a lot better. Now, if you never saw Most Def, or if you're just a Most Def fan like me, you still enjoyed it. It was still a great show. I'm not taking nothing away from the show. When he did Miss Fat Booty over Slum Village Dilla beat, that was dope. You know what I mean? And then he did what else did he do? He did Umi Says. That was his last song. And a lot of people, I was out there in the crowd, trust me, a lot of people was expecting more. And when he said that was it, goodbye, and all of that, we were all waiting for, like, or a lot of us were waiting for, the, what do you call it, the coup de grace or whatever, for him, the encore, and it just never happened. He left and the lights came out and we were like, oh, what? That's it? Oh, well. But anyway, so let's get to Erykah. So Erykah, her show starts and her band comes out, and I kid you not, they played for about 15, 20 minutes straight without her being out there. Now, that's all right if your band is all of that. But, and I'm not taking away from the band, but they were playing like this jazz music. And it was sort of like that band could have been playing for almost anybody or any crowd, and it would have fit. It didn't necessarily fit Erykah or a neo soul movement or R&B, atmosphere. It was just kind of like, we're out here playing this this jazz music, like this random jazz music. They played like 3 songs. They did play Nautilus by Bob James, which was pretty cool. And if you know who that is and what that song is, then you thought, oh, that's really cool. But if you don't know who that song was, and I guarantee you, most of the people in there had no idea what that song was. As funky as it is, they didn't care. You know what I mean? Not in that way. Not like the hip hop heads who really know about that song. And then there was some kind of weird visual up on the screen that just was up there. The intro was just way, way too long. It was so long that I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a long night because Erica got a lot of hits, a lot of hits. And let me tell you something, I've seen Erica a ton of times, so um, I know, I kind of know what to expect, or so I thought. So I'm thinking, oh man, this is gonna be a really, really long night. If the intro is this long and whatever, and so she finally comes out and her intro was kind of cool because she had this crazy outfit. I can't describe it. You know how she be on the stage. She be out there. She wears some crazy stuff. But it was like she came out stumping, and she walks out in front of the mic, and and then the first song. I kind of think like when you're that big, when you're such a mega star, when you come out, you should come out like like just grab the crowd by the shirt and just I got you. You have them like the whole night, and she kind of started off real mellow, and I can't even remember the song she started off with, but it was cool. I noticed right away, like when the band was playing, I didn't see her normal backup singer. She's usually got like three or four girls, at least in the past. She'll have like three or four girls up there, and they're just like excellent. There was like one female backup singer who was kind of singing with, in the intro part, and then there was one male who came in and did a little stuff here and there in the intro part of the show. And they weren't really, she didn't, it wasn't like a whole lot of parts where the backup singers would be necessary. Not in comparison to in the past where her backup singers was like 50% of that show. You know what I mean? As far vocally speaking. So that definitely, I noticed that. And I was like, all right, people move on and change and do different kinds of things. But she went through some hits and whatnot. When she did Other Side of the Game, that was like really great. That's one of my favorites that she does. And at different times, she had different visuals up on the screen. She had a really big screen behind her, and those were cool. Some of them were kind of, you know what I mean. But yeah, it was. By the time she got towards the end, and because she did Tyrone last, and then she just did it like real quick, like one verse. She didn't even do the whole song, and it was just like, you're not gonna even give us all a Tyrone. So I literally thought that when she was like, I'm about to get out of here, you know what I'm saying? And she did like one more song after that, I think, one, maybe two. And I thought, okay, this is just her segueing herself into the second half of the show. Because she got a whole lot more hits to do. And no, that was it. She did those songs, and that was it. Now, listen, let me say this again. I've seen Erykah Badu like 10 times over the years from when she first came out back in the 90s. And I have never been disappointed. I'm not saying I was disappointed about last night, um, but I will say I thought there would have been a whole lot more. It felt like she did a handful of songs instead of like a plethora of songs. I thought she was going to go through like 15 songs easy or something like that, 15, 20 songs. She's at a point now where I think she should be doing 2 full hours. And when that show ended, when it did, I think she was up there for at least an entire hour, maybe a little longer than that. Um, I didn't really pay attention to the time. She was up there for, a good amount of time, but the time, if you compare the time she was up there to how many songs she did, and how many songs, how many hit songs she actually has, it just seemed like I was shortchanged with that. And I thought it would be a whole lot longer than that. And we were here in Arizona. We're the second stop on this tour. I think San Antonio was first. Maybe they're still working out some kinks or whatever. But um, I left, feeling like I needed more and I wanted more. Now, again, if you've never seen Erica, and there was a lot of newcomers there that had just seen her for the first time live ever. If you've never seen her live, you would have thought, oh, scale of 1 to 10, this is like a 9 or 10. Easy. It was a great show. Don't get me wrong. But if you're a seasoned Erykah Badu concert goer like myself, then you know that you were kind of shortchanged. It should have been longer. There should have been a lot more songs, and there just wasn't. Like I said, I've seen Erica many, many times. Every time she comes to town and I'm in town, I'm there every single time. So I just felt like could have been a little longer, could have been a little better. When the show ended, when it did, I was like, see, you could have used some of that intro time where your band was playing songs nobody cares about. That could have been, 3 or 4 more songs there, easy. That intro was long and boring. It was kind of funny because when they first started, everybody had their phones out. Everybody was recording, and by the time that band was finished playing, like 90% of the people had put their phones down. They were like, "Hey, come on out, Erica. We waiting for you. Come on out." So I would say personally, on a scale of 1 to 10, based off of all of the past shows I've seen, I would give this show a 6. A lot of people thought that it was excellent, and it was a great show, but it wasn't as great as you know it could have been. She's done of every Erica concert I've ever been to. I would say this was my least favorite. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I love Erica. Always will. Have every record she ever put out. But I would definitely go see her again. I'm a lifer when it comes to Erykah Badu. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Now before I go, let me talk about the merch, cause I love buying concert merch. And it's y'all guys, you know how expensive merch is. It's ridiculous what they charge for some of this stuff, and this show wasn't any different than that. But let me tell you, this was the worst merch that I've ever seen in my life. She had like 2 or 3 different shirts she was wearing. I can't even describe to you what was on the t-shirt. It was so confusing. It was I didn't even know what it was. And I was totally gonna buy some. I was like, as long as the t-shirts, I hate spending a lot of money on tees. But I was like, as long as it's, $40 or under, they were like 45. And I was like, that's a lot for a t-shirt. That's a whole lot. She had like hoodies for like 70. I was like, I'll get a t-shirt. But when I saw those t-shirts, I go, no way. No way. And Yasiin Bey shirts were even worse. What were you guys thinking? Making those shirts. I was like, this is pathetic. It's a shame when the bootleggers got better shirts than the actual artist, because that's how it was. And I was hoping that there would be some bootleg shirts there, because hey, I know I can get them for cheaper, and there certainly was. I wish I had a reference, a pictures or something of the T-shirts they were selling at that show. They were awful. No disrespect. I love you, Yasiin Bey. I love you, Erykah Badu. Those shirts were awful. They were terrible. Let me show you what the bootleggers were selling. Look at this. Check out the back. This was an incredible shirt. Or is an incredible shirt. Parking lot, baby. 15 bucks. They went from 30 to 25 to let me get a few of those, homie. I get a few of those if you bring it down to 15. That's what's up. All right, cool. So, yeah, step it up, y'all. Step it up to all the people that like felt like this show was a 10. I'm so glad that you guys had a great time. And let me tell you, people was buying that merch. Don't get me wrong. They was buying that merch inside and they was buying them bootlegs outside. And I was outside with the rest of them buying that stuff. Bought one on my way in and bought a few more on my way out. So, yeah, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. I love you, Eric. I'm so glad that you back on the road again. Most, Yasiin Bey, I'm so glad. It's been a long time since I've seen you live. I'm glad that I got a chance to see you guys both. And I wish you a successful tour for the rest of the tour, whatever. Go out there. I hope y'all see this video. And I'm sorry, Yasiin Bey, please forgive me. I hope that you go out there and go on that stage and rock like the rap king that you are. Give them more. Go out on that stage and let them know that you ain't to be messed with. You did a great show, but you're doing these big arenas now. Come out there like you doing a big arena. You feel me? Thank you guys for watching my video and letting me rant and give you my 2 cents. Erykah Badu Unfollow Me tour with special guest Yasiin Bey. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Peace and love, y'all. This is Daryl D. I'm out.